Welcome back inside the stories. I write in different genres with different kinds of characters and worlds, but readers often notice something interesting. They'll say, your stories feel connected, even when they're not. Today, I want to talk about the one thing all my stories have in common, the thread that runs through everything I write, no matter the genre. The one thing all my stories have in common is character transformation through connection. Every story I write centers on people who are changed, not just by the events, but by the relationships they encounter and have. Love, friendship, family, rivalry, or even loss. And to give you a good example, I'll talk about the Tenderhearted Cowboy. In this story, Sierra comes to Texas at the request of the brother she's known about her whole life, but he just learned about her. He invites her there, hoping to get to know her. In the course of this, he's just gotten married and gone off on his honeymoon and asks her to stay. So she meets this guy, Cody, bull rider, who just so happens to be Luke's good friend. And he's going to come and work at the ranch where she is staying. Uh, they build this relationship, which for him, it was about being constant in her life, being um, exactly what she needs when she needs it and what she wants when she wants it. The transformation is truly seen in Sierra from the beginning, where she is feeling out of place, even among these people who will become her family. She feels resentment towards white men, especially based um, on her mother's own experiences that she shared with Sierra over time. But Sierra changes as she is spending time with these people, and she's starting to see that not all white men are bad. Not all white men are crazy or racist. Not all white people are racist. She finds that in this ranch family that has, become such a big deal, that they don't care what color you are. They only care about you as a person. And that causes her to change how she sees things and allows her to open her heart to this relationship with Cody. So the plots might look different from book to book, but at the heart of every story is someone learning who they are because of the people they collide with. Another good example could be from The Unexpected Cowboy, the most recent in the series, where Francina, who was instrumental in getting her friend to be open to this relationship, has to go through almost the same sort of thing when she meets this cowboy that she thinks is attractive, but he's white. And because she's had heartbreak with a white guy, she's kind of set this rule that she will not be in a relationship with someone who doesn't understand or has experienced the same kind of racism and hatred that we see a lot in American culture towards Black and brown people. So she has to get over those feelings and recognize Travis for who he is. And also, she has to accept her attraction to him, which leads them into this, what I think is going to be the most amazing relationship. And I know the book kind of ends with just them admitting that they love each other. And that is because there is more coming for them. Um, but she goes through the transformation of understanding who she can count on, um, who's got her back, not just her best friend, not just, family. She transforms from the idea of only wanting to be with a black man to choosing whoever the best man is. And Travis goes through some transformation too. His transformation is more about accepting that some of his family are undesirable people, and he comes to the conclusion by the end that uh, he's not those people. He'll never be those people, and um, he has kind of a little bit of a surprise for Francine at the end. So if you haven't read it, you might want to go check it out. But anyway, transformations come through romance, especially, I think. In any romance I've read, as well as the ones I've written, there's always um, transformation that comes with romance, because at the beginning of the book, they have this sort of idea that, you know, this is going to be this or this is going to be that. And throughout the story, they are taken through different avenues that lead them to this change that they are going to have to deal with in order to have this person in their life. Sometimes it can come through uh, family. A good example of that, again, is Sierra and her desire to kind of give Dwight a chance to get to know her. No, they don't spend a whole lot of time together, but she is literally busy transforming in order to be able to accept the love from Cody. But finding family is what is the catalyst for her change. If she hadn't come to Texas to find family, she wouldn't have changed. Sometimes it comes through conflict, secrets, choices that force a character to face themselves. I think a good example, again, from my Cowboy series, is Edie falling for the rancher. Um, she comes to Texas to save her sister from the evil white people who are, trying to steal her away. And what she finds when she gets here is that she's been manipulating and um, doing all these things to get people to behave a certain way, to do certain things, um, because she's bossy and she likes, well, I'm not going to say she likes being in control. She's used to being in control. And then you have in her transition is that by the end of the book, even though she does one final kind of manipulation, she does it to teach a lesson that she just got, which was stop meddling in people's lives and let them live it. So that happens in that. Now, secrets and choices, a good one for that would be Taming the Lonesome Cowboy, because Wyatt has secrets. And of course, at first, he doesn't want to share that with Lariah. But as he gets to see that she sees him, not the past, not what he's put out there as the thing that people should be looking at, those secrets become less important. And he ends up sharing, what's happened to him and why things are the way they are in his life. And it also comes from choices, because he chose to let the world believe that he was the bad person who killed his mother, um, when the truth is his brother, a child younger than him, did it to protect him. And rather than have his little brother grow up with this stigma and pain, he made the choice to take that on himself. And it isn't until he starts to really understand how he feels for Lariah that he shares that and explains, and it changes him. Now, even when settings change or tones shift, the emotional journey stays rooted in connection. Um, some of the connections aren't just with this person that they're going to fall in love with. Sometimes it's the people who work in the house, who live in the house, or in this case, I'm thinking about the ranch. Edie was also changed by Elise and the connection she formed with her. And I think part of that is because Edie grew up with her mother, but when she was 18, she left home to go to school, and then her parents died. So there's been all these years where she had to become this adult to raise her sisters and take care of them, that she didn't have that mother figure. And now here is Elise in this story, who is probably the best kind of mother to have, because she's doesn't beat you over the head with something. She teaches, and she's kind and gentle. So I think that's important. But no one ever will stay the same by the end of the story, uh, especially not my main characters, and that's intentional. I want you to see them a certain way at the beginning and see them differently at the end. And I feel like if I am doing this and doing it well, I think you guys get it, and I think that's why you like the characters, and why so many of you have sent me messages that say, we're not ready for you to stop having cowboy stories. We want to know more. We want to know what's going on with Rose and Eli on their tour. We want to know, about the baby that Lariah and Wyatt are going to have. And even though I didn't write a book specifically about Amy and Brad, you kind of want to know that too. You want to know what's going on in all their lives. And I'm going to try to keep bringing that to you. I think that all of that connection is why readers connect strongly to certain characters. You may see a bit of yourself. You may see a family member or a friend that reminds you of this person, or situations that you may have that are similar. And we don't just want to know what happens to get them to fall in love. We want to know who these characters become. And that means we want to know what their lives are going to be like going forward. And that's what I care most about when I'm writing. I want my characters to connect. I want them to grow in love. And I think I'm doing that. And it's a promise that I'm going to try to keep with every new story that I write. Now, if you've read more than one of my books, I'd love to know, was there a moment where you felt that connected, that a character stayed with you longer than you expected them to? Tell me about it in the comments. Tell me the character's name. If you want, you can put the title of the book. Those moments of connection are why I write, and many future videos here will explore those transformations more deeply, one character at a time. If there's a particular character that you would like to know more about, let me know in the comments, and I will try to dedicate a video to whichever one gets the most mentions. So I want to thank you all for hanging out with me to go inside the stories, and I hope to see you here again.
Thanks for tuning in on my channel. Hope you had a little bit of fun. If you're still sitting there just chilling, then we're not quite done. Now hit them buttons to show me you were here.